Okay, I'm going to do a comparison video between my Magnum skid steer and the Delta track loader that I built. First one will just be doing a bit of a climbing test here. So bear with me. The track loader is pretty awesome. The servos that are powering it do a really good job of being able to make it go over quite a lot of spots, which was something I really was hoping for when I bought the Magnum skid steer. When I bought the Magnum, I was just getting into the hobby and I didn't really know much about how to build these things or think I could actually even build one. So pretty happy to have the track loader now. And then the second one here will be the skid steer. And this will be the skid steer doing a climb test. The controls are all completely opposite from one another, so it's need a second to just remember which does which. This one is just so disappointing. I'm not here to bash anybody because I believe the people at Magnum could probably build circles around me with their stuff. But I was really hoping that when I bought this, I would have been able to do a little bit more than what I can. This is pretty much why I'm not a big fan of the little N20 motors, and I prefer servos. This thing just, I just wish it would be better than it is. But there's not really anything to compare it. It just sucks. It doesn't have the power to do what I really want it to do, which is really frustrating, especially because it did cost quite a lot of money by the time I converted my currency over. The only thing with this, I just wish I knew more about motors and things like that before I bought it, because I would have probably just built my own one with servos if I knew how to do it at the time. The only thing with this is I just kind of wonder what's the point of the power source if it can't really do anything. It seems a little bit silly to me to even put those little motors in. I don't expect it to do everything, but I kind of do expect it to be able to, you know, get over some hurdles and some obstacles. But this thing really is best suited to stay on the coffee table and move wood pellets around. Basically, it doesn't have a lot of power to do much. So yeah, a little disappointing. I try to work within its capabilities and you know, make it be part of the team, because I do like it, but yeah, it really just gets stuck. It doesn't do much, and so I sometimes find I have a hard time finding the use for it because it's so limited in what it can do. The next test I'll do will just be the bucket and the boom on the Magnum. It does really well. It's actually got way higher reach than mine does. I might be able to move the little bar on my Delta to make it go a bit higher, but the Magnum outperforms my build by a mile when it comes to the height of the boom. It's pretty high up, and the bucket's pretty good for its curling and dumping. It's a lot better than mine is too. So they did a pretty good job of building the mechanisms. Really, the only thing like I said before with this model is just the motors. I think if it had servos, it would just be awesome. I would have probably never even built a track loader if the motors were better in that one there. And then I'll do my Delta loader, show you what it can do. So yeah, I mean, they both have advantages and disadvantages. Like I said, the boom and bucket on the Magnum is 10 times better than mine is. I could make mine go a little bit higher, I think, if I play around with it. My bucket doesn't dump all the way forward like the Magnum does. I did fix it though and get a better curl back like it is right now. Before it wasn't curling as much back. It would probably go to about maybe there. So it was nice to be able to sort that out playing around with servo. And actually I just put a better little plastic servo horn into it because the other one's stripped out. So it's pretty good for that. I'm happy with it that way. The one thing with mine is that I do notice the bucket is a little bit jitty sometimes, and I don't know if that's because I need to maybe put a BEC into it. I'm not too sure. But yeah, so like I said, they both have their strengths and weaknesses, but the biggest thing for me is the ability to be able to drive up stuff, and the Delta just destroys the Magnum in that respect. So it gets a lot more playtime than my other one does, just because it can go around so much more stuff. I think when I was doing my first series of videos when I built that pipeline installation and stuff, if I had this track loader, or sorry, had the skid steer, I would have been able to probably do a lot more stuff with it, and I would have probably done a lot more shots of the skid steer in there. It took quite a lot of times to try and do some of the things I was able to do in those videos with that track, or with the tired one there, because it just had so many issues doing some basic things. So yeah, it's a little interesting to kind of wonder almost kind of what the point is really of having those small little motors, unless, you know, maybe my expectations were a little bit high for it, but I don't really think so. I kind of expected to be able to handle some basic backfilling stuff, and when you get into this bit of topsoil stuff like that, it just doesn't really do well. Actually, for both of them, I have a bit of wood I put down here every time I'm turning, because with this track loader here, one thing about it is that I do get a lot of rocks and debris getting caught up into these little areas here. So I do find I have to kind of pick it up and shake it out often just to keep it clear. But for, you know, what I'm gaining of this one versus that one, it doesn't matter to me. It's worth it. The other thing with this one here is I don't actually think I can take the bucket off and put the forks on it. That was one thing I was really hoping when I bought it at the time I'd be able to lift some pallets and stuff, because I made all these custom pallets and stuff when I was doing my crawler stuff, and I thought it would be fun to be able to stack stuff on a shelf or whatever. So that was another thing that was kind of a little bit shapoopy about it, was that I didn't get that option to maybe switch around. I honestly haven't tried, so maybe before I say that I should give it an honest college try there. But yeah, all told, they both have their strengths and weaknesses, like I said. But I think if anybody was out here and you had a choice, you would probably be reaching for the track loader more than you would this guy. It's I try to be, you know, open-minded and fair, and like I said, the people that work at Magnum are pretty good builders, and they build some pretty amazing stuff. I suppose I just really wish that I knew more about the abilities of the power source for it before I bought it, which is my mistake, just lack of education and not knowing at the time, because I was pretty fresh into getting it. Yeah, I mean, all told, it's still a fun little model to have, and but this one here is, I'm much happier with the tracked one that I built than I am with this guy. And you know, I thought about selling it, whatnot, but I don't think I'll ever get the money back that I paid for it, so I might as well just hang on to it and give it little special projects to do, whatever that might be. I don't know. It does lift the sand, the gravel, and the bark mulch pretty good. The both of them do, actually. So yeah, that's good. But like I said, those damn little N20 motors, it just put me right off of powering anything with little motors. So thanks for watching, and hope you enjoy.